Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack and flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yo, what's good, original crew, man? We're back. Hey, man, we're back on the channel. We got a video today we haven't did from a channel in a while. We got top 10s. People who outlived insane prison sentences. Crazy, huh?
Very. Very, very crazy.
What's the sentence you think would probably be the longest?
Do they give like
I'm gonna say 60.
I was about to say 65.
Oh, you going 65?
I was about to say, do they? That's what I was like, do they give like 65?
Yeah,
Because I be thinking
it's all type of number. I didn't see 23. I didn't see the odd number 23, but that'd be like federal.
Well, thank you.
Based off months.
Yeah.
You say you done seen what?
That's what I'm about to say. I'd be feeling like some shit, like the odd number, like it'd be odd.
Yeah,
it's a little odd, but yeah,
like 23 years and 4 months, but it's based off of federal as far as months though.
But yeah, I was gonna say 65, and then I was trying to calculate like, okay, what time, like what age would they have went in to be able to like outlive? Like, I know 18. Some people live to 100 and some years. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I've seen some people get out in their 80s and go live for another 10 years.
Yeah, so yeah.
Hey. Make sure y'all check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go. If you want to first support, all you got to do is check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's video.
Like it in with a thumbs up.
Hey, let's get it, baby. Let's check this out. Let's see what it's about, y'all.
Outlived a life sentence. Welcome back, Charlie here. These criminals were sentenced to decades behind bars, but lived longer than their prison sentences. From people wrongly sentenced to decades in jail, to dangerous criminals set free after serving more than 70 years. First, we have to look at Ricky Jackson. Can you imagine being in prison for 40 years of your life for a crime you didn't commit? Well, that actually happened to this man. When Ricky Jackson was only 19 years old, he was arrested for a crime he did not commit. Police said he took the life of a salesman named Harvey Franks. The only evidence cops had was a witness statement from a 13-year-old named Eddie Vernon. Aside from that one witness, there was zero physical evidence. Despite this, Ricky Jackson...
When this happened? 75. So let's be real. 9 times out of 10, they used to do a lot of witness intimidation on the police side. So what they'll do is they'll go get it, like they got the little 13-year-old boy. He could have been doing something, or we're gonna scare the little boy, and he pick out whoever they want him to pick out. That happened a lot back in the day.
Jackson was found guilty. He was initially given the death sentence, but after several appeals, this was changed to a life sentence.
Damn.
Ricky was sent to prison in 1974. He thought he was going to die behind bars, but in 2013, the witness, Eddie Vernon, broke down in tears. Eddie admitted he did not see Ricky take the life of Harvey Franks, and instead was coerced into saying this by cops. It turned out Eddie Vernon never even saw the attack take place. This shocking revelation meant that Ricky Jackson was finally released. He was given freedom in 2014 after spending 4 decades behind bars. But sadly, this meant he was now an old man at the time. Ricky Jackson was given $18 million in compensation. But some say that's not enough for all of those decades lost. But would you take $18 million to lose 40 years of your life?
No.
That's not enough, bro.
Because people fail to realize what really goes on behind. Yo, I just seen a video. I don't know if I sent it to you. This dude was talking about some things he witnessed in prison.
You sent it to me.
Did you see it?
I haven't watched it, but you sent it.
But it's a lot of other things happen in prison that people don't talk about. And a good depiction from a visual standpoint, like isn't it When They See Us? Mm-hmm. The end part. Mm-hmm. Like was it the final episode? They talk about what they really went through. Mm-hmm. I think it's the final episode, if not the episode before the final episode. Yeah. Just the things that people go through and the lack of medical attention, you know what I'm saying? Some people go through in prison that something might happen to them where they have lingering effects years down the line. Some
Yeah.
people's lives are in danger in prison that are innocent. You know what I'm saying? They have to go in there and survive. Like literally, you live to survive in prison. It's just about surviving every day. It's not like, oh, I'm going in here, I'm finna just do my time. No, a lot of people are surviving their time. So no, would you give up yours? 40 years for 18 million?
It ain't enough. I said it's not enough. Like, no.
Ain't no amount of money.
No amount of money. Like, years robbed. Life. Like, granted, I'm still alive. I have breath in my body, but
The
just
things
to,
I went through, things I've seen.
mentally, physically, emotionally, just everything. Spiritually, just so many things. Like, that can really break somebody.
A lot of people go in there one way, come out, they are a totally different way, bro. And you like, hey, you only did 2 years. 2 years of shock with somebody else.
Personally, I definitely wouldn't. Moving on, we have to look at Betty Smithey. Betty Smithey is America's longest-serving female inmate. In 1963, this woman took the life of a minor. For this crime, she was given a life sentence. But while she was behind bars, she managed to escape 4 times, although she was caught again every time. Eventually, she decided to stop trying to escape and instead improve her life. She got educated behind bars and began writing poetry. In 2003, Betty applied for parole. She was rejected, but in 2012, she appealed again, and this time she was finally freed. She spent 49 years behind bars, but was finally made a free woman at 69 years old. Some said she should never have been released due to her crimes, but
Hell no, she shouldn't have got out.
She took huh? What's her name? Betty Smithey?
Yeah, something like that. She said, I'm gonna have to. Smithey, yeah.
the judge believed Betty had changed behind bars. What do you think? Is 49 years in prison enough or not? Moving
Boy, my mom used to tell me, because my mom worked there as a correction officer for, we were calculating the amount of years she worked there before she had to leave, right? And not like fire, terminate on this, like medical leave. Medically had to resign and step away. She used to tell me about some of the craziest times people like will leave prison. And she used to tell me about this one dude who used to always escape. He mailed himself out several times. I said, how you mail yourself out of prison, bro? Literally package yourself up and get mailed out. He did it more than one time. I think that's the one they used to call Pinky. Or pink lips, something like that. Because his lips were like this pink. Like, y'all see, his lips was like that pink. And his lips was pink like that because they say he used to do a lot of talking. Snitching. So they super glued his lips together. So he couldn't talk no more. And then the only way they can... And he was left scarred.
along, we have to look at Thomas Trantino. In 1963, Thomas Trantino got drunk. He then got into an altercation with 2 cops and ended their lives. He was arrested a few days later and, in court, was given the death penalty. He was on death row for 8 years until 1971. That was when New Jersey abolished the death penalty, meaning that Thomas's sentence was changed to life behind bars. While he was locked up, Thomas wrote 2 books. In 2002, he applied for parole and, surprisingly, was released. He spent 39 years in prison, making him New Jersey's longest-serving prisoner. Some people, especially cops, were annoyed that he was released. But do you think nearly 4 decades is enough for what Thomas did?
So if I commit a crime when I was 8, let's just say 18, I only did 40 years. What's that? 50. That's still theoretically young enough to... Huh? Wow. For the murder of 2 cops? Damn.
Moving along, we have to look at Joseph Ligon.
I know. I've seen him before. But I've seen the old him, not the young him. I know who this is just because he still looked the same as the older him. Have you ever seen?
I've never seen this picture, no.
But do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't. I may know, like, if they show like him now.
Yeah.
I probably, but
he
no.
Still looks the same. Damn, he just aged.
1953, 15-year-old Joseph Ligon was
15?
sentenced to life in prison.
15?
You see, Joseph had got drunk and decided to do some robberies. This
15?
caused 6 men to be injured and 2 men to lose their lives. Joseph Ligon was found guilty for what he did and was sentenced to life behind bars.
I know
Decades
this. I know
went
this.
by,
Like this.
but in 2016, the law changed. It was ruled that life sentences for juveniles were unconstitutional. As a result, Joseph was released in 2017. He had spent 68 years behind bars, going in at age 15 and leaving at age 83. But here's the surprising thing. Although Joseph was free to go, he refused. He had spent 68 years behind bars and was too used to jail life. So instead, he preferred to stay in prison, which
I ain't gonna lie, somebody like him, I don't think
Like, that's all, 15 years
he's
old.
institutionalized. When we be like, oh, they institutionalized. He literally was institutionalized.
Like, you're like, I don't know anything else outside of this, for real.
I don't know how to survive out there.
What y'all want me to go out there and do?
Especially at 80, I've never had a job. I never had to feed myself.
Nothing.
I never had to clothe
He
myself.
went in as a child, and he's in his 80s now, and y'all expect for him to just be like, oh.
I ain't gonna hold you. I think I would have said, hey, I'm gonna stay too though.
Because he doesn't have kids, so you don't have anything to like
go home to.
You know what I'm saying? Or grandkids. You went in at 15. I doubt if he had. You know what I'm saying? No. Never had a wife, girlfriend, like for real. You know what I'm saying? So parents not deceased. You and your. You know what I'm saying? So
never had a relationship where if you have like any siblings, do they have kids? But you never had a true genuine relationship with them, so why would they have to take?
So he doesn't know. Yeah,
I would have stayed in there.
That's crazy. I don't know what I would have done, but that's just
She said, I don't know. I might want to go out though. give me a free
see some. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I could still get a girlfriend.
Man, you ain't get no girlfriend.
Yes, you. I know something. Yeah. You.
I'm saying 80 and ain't never been. He probably don't even know how to talk to a woman.
He could talk to him
For real.
Little Betty
You don't
Jean
know
or
because he
something.
ain't never did it. Not to a woman. Now he might flirted with some girls back in the day when he was in grade school.
Well, maybe he'd get out trying.
She looked at me like that, like my uncle. He still be. It's all that.
is where he still is to this day. Next, we have to look at Charles Ford. In 1952, this man was sentenced to life in prison and spent 64 years behind bars, all for a crime he did not commit. He was not even at the scene of the crime. He had allegedly taken someone's life. Some said that Charles was profiled by the judge and jury, meaning that despite the little evidence, he was still given a life sentence. It turned out Charles's lawyer never submitted an appeal. He was 20 when he went into prison and was 84 years old when he came out, meaning that he spent a whopping 64 years behind bars. Charles was released into a nursing home as he was too old to look after himself. So while he was released, he basically lost his entire life to prison. When Charles was released, he began crying in court. Next, we have to look at John.
Sad.
That dude.
That is so sad.
Cause the other man probably would have had to go through the same thing. He probably would have had to go to an assisted living center. And they could still feel like prisoners to some, though. Just with a little bit more moving capabilities, but I'm still confined to my room. Still, you know what I'm saying? I never had the life as freedom. Cause I don't know, all assisted living centers ain't the same. Some operate similar, you know what I'm saying? Ain't like the one we see down the street when them old people be walking. They be walking to the gas station.
Well, that's an assisted living facility. He went to a nursing home.
Oh, true. True, that is true.
They more independent.
Boy,
or they are independent.
They be walking with their oxygen tanks, and I be like, they need to go. Somebody, hey, no, bro.
They still get around.
Boy, it's slow as hell. I'm like,
and they still. I pray to be able to still get around.
Every time
like
I see them, I'll be like, bro, I pray they able to cross this street and don't nobody try to do nothing. Like I'm talking about speed pass or something. Like let them cross the street. Could they be? I'm like, Lord Jesus, bro.
Yeah.
John Bunz. This man is New York's oldest inmate. He ended the life of his wife of 17 and a half years.
Damn.
John Bunz and his wife Virginia got into an argument. Things escalated and John used a hammer to end Virginia's life. John Bunz was given a life sentence for what he did. He was set to be released when he was aged 112, but instead he was released early when he was aged 94. He was released in order to get medical care. That's because prisons find it too hard to look after people who are so old. But in 2014, at the age of 94, John Bunz passed away. He is still the oldest ever inmate New York has had. Moving on, we have to look at Harvey Stewart. Harvey Stewart is a man who's been to prison many times throughout his life. In 1951, he was given a 10-year sentence for armed robbery. He was released but was soon put back in jail. This was for ending the life of a man named James Laird. Harvey Stewart escaped prison many times, but was quickly recaptured every time. He was later released in 1985 after serving only 9 years. But only 16 months later, Harvey was arrested yet again, this time for robbing a bank. This guy really does love jail. He served 59 years behind bars, and was finally released in 2011. This was mainly because of his old age and declining health. He was 83 years old by the time he was released. He outlived all of his family and friends, which meant he had no prison visits in over a decade. When Harvey Stewart was interviewed about his time in prison, he said this: "Imagine that, 60 years down in this damn hole. I wouldn't recommend it." Harvey's right, he really did waste his entire life behind bars. I think this man is proof that crime is not worth it.
I bet he was like, if I was in good health, I'd go rob another bank. He said, I just can't stop. As long as I can move, and I'm going to try it. I'm going to keep trying.
Next, let's look at John Francese. John Francese was a member of one of the USA's most deadly mafias. That is, the Colombo crime family. He soon gained a reputation as one of the mafia's most dangerous thugs. He claims to have ended over 50 lives, but he was never convicted for this. Instead, he was given a life sentence for a different crime. That was orchestrating many bank robberies around the USA. He was given 50 years behind bars. In 2011, John was released at the age of 93. Damn. In 2011, at the age of 93, John Francese was given an extra 8 years behind bars. This was for extortion and loan sharking. In 2017, he celebrated his 100-year-old birthday behind bars, and was released later that year. In total, John Francese spent over 40 years in the can, meaning that he basically lost half of his life. Yeah. I guess that's the price you pay when you're in the mob. Finally, let's look at James Moore. In 1962, James Moore ended the life.
He literally outlived 2 sentences. No way. And I feel like the reason why they gave him that second sentence was hoping that he would die in prison. That's crazy. They wanted to keep him in there.
Let's look at James Moore. In 1962, James Moore ended the life of a 14-year-old named Pamela Moss. He was given a life sentence. While in prison, he did various jobs and also got an education. He requested to be released 20 times, but every time the judge said no. That was until June of 2022. He was finally released after spending 60 years behind bars, but he is now in full-time care and had to have both of his legs amputated. Now it's time for you to make your voice heard. Comment below, do you think—
Wow. Should life sentences be allowed? Well, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you still giving out the death penalty, then, you know what I'm saying?
Especially depending on the crime, yeah, for sure.
I hear those
topic of conversation.
Yeah, because some people like, what's the point of them sending them for the rest? You might as well execute them. You already tell them they're gonna die here. And I also seen where people say, "Hey, you shouldn't execute." You can have those debates, and those debates can last for a long time. You know.
Yeah.
Y'all spend what's up, man. Let us know y'all thoughts about it for us in the comments down below. But until next time, y'all know how it go, man. I do go for the dang DJ No Kid. This is.
Sierra Nicole.
We are.
Kid and C.
We are.
Get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar, 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 dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back